Then we have Bobby King Green taking on Jared Gordon. Bobby Green, 29-14 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that second round KO loss to Drew Dober. He's taking on Jared Gordon, 19-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that controversial loss to Paddy Pimblett, where a lot of people think he won that fight.
He got smoked.
Who did?
Jared Gordon. I had that 30-26 for Paddy.
Okay, now you're just saying stupid shit. Bobby Green, we know him by now. We've broken him down a million times. He's got that Roy Jones Jr. style boxing. He's a solid striker. He puts on a show. Hands are always down. Super busy. Solid defense for the most part. Really good volume. Really good defense. Slick wrestling when he wants to use it. He does have 10 knockouts under his belt. Only like 1 or 2 of them are just big one-punch knockouts. The rest of them are just volume and speed and beating people to that punch, avoiding the shots, counter-striking. He's only 2-3 in his last 5. And a lot of people, even in the Discord, like Angelo, how are you so high on Bobby Green? He's 2-3 in his last 5. First of all, he's coming off that loss to Drew Dober. He whooped Drew Dober's ass in that first round. Whooped his ass. Absolutely whooped his ass. Then he got caught, and Drew Dober has an insane chin. Before that, he lost to Islam on short notice. Okay, he's the current champion
and almost
right now.
Won.
Current champion. He was out-wrestled.
He was dominating until the takedown.
And then his loss before that was a decision loss to Rafael Fiziev, where he won that third round, and Fiziev is the most technical striker in the division. Obviously, we just watched Gagey grit out a win, but technique-wise, Fiziev's the most technical. So Bobby Green, much better than his 2-3 in his last 5. Taking on Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon, he's well-rounded, right? He's a good wrestler. He's got solid pressure, solid striking. He does jump between featherweight and lightweight. He should be a featherweight. He's going to be undersized here. And you can see the size difference in some of these lightweight fights. He does have solid volume. He likes to come forward. He's got flurries, and he looks for those takedowns. He averages more than 2 takedowns per fight. But if you push a grappling game plan, you could have some success against him. I like Bobby. I think this is Bobby Green all day. And no offense to Jared Gordon. I think he won that Paddy fight. And I think it sucks that he didn't get that win because that's sort of career affecting. I think the UFC gave him Bobby Green to shut him up. I think they want Jared Gordon to lose another fight so they don't have to worry about putting him against Paddy Pimblett again. I think they just want him out of there because they know he can beat Paddy, and there's like a narrative there now. But I think Bobby's got too good of takedown defense. His hands are too good. Well, Jared's busy, but he doesn't have that power. So I think Bobby Green just sort of touches up Jared and outboxes the hell out of him for 3 full rounds. Bobby Green, confident pick, and I think he's safe to parlay as well. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased because I'm a big Bobby King Green fan. I have been for a long time. I called the knockout of Iaquinta. You know, he hasn't knocked anyone out. And I said he can knock this guy out. I think he can knock Jared Gordon out, even though Jared Gordon is a tough dude. The reason they put Jared Gordon against Paddy is they knew that he could not knock Paddy out. Paddy is one of the most hittable guys I have ever seen in my life, and they knew that even if Jared Gordon is landing good shots, he's not going to knock out Paddy. So that's exactly what happened. That was a fight that he probably did win, but he never landed that knockout shot. If you can't hit a guy like Paddy, I don't know how you're going to touch a guy like Bobby Green. That guy is the most unhittable guy in the division. He finally got hit and clipped by Drew Dober, and that almost looked like a bad knockout, but it was crazy. I mean, it looked like he got flatlined. Bobby Green was up in 2 seconds, like, shit, man. Like, he was absolutely fine. So when people are being like, he got knocked out, you got knocked out, but he recovered, like, absolutely incredibly. He's out walking around, handled it like only Bobby Green can, but as Anjo mentioned, just beating the fuck out of Drew Dober. I mean, just absolutely destroying Drew Dober in that fight. That could have been, honestly, like a 10-8 round without scoring a knockdown. He was beating him up so bad in that fight. Drew Dober just granite chin, moving forward, found the power shot that Jared Gordon just does not possess. So I'm not worried at all about Bobby Green in this fight. I don't think Jared Gordon out-wrestle Bobby Green. Bobby Green's a very good wrestler. Obviously, Islam is a different animal, but he's a very good wrestler. Even Drew Dober was trying to shoot takedown. They weren't even close in that fight. Bobby Green can wrestle. He's going to have that Philly shell. You can't touch him. And if this is a retirement fight, a lot of people are a little bit nervous about that, right? Oh, Bobby Green's talking retirement. How's he going to look? Bobby Green is going to be a guy that wants to go out on top. He's not going to be taking a fight off to retire. He wants to go out, and he's probably going to be even more aggressive than he normally is, and I love that in a fight against Jared Gordon, who I think is hittable and can get knocked out. I like Bobby Green in this fight, and I think he gets it done inside the distance. He's going to make a point, knock him out, retire, do what he needs to do, and officially, he says he's changed his name to King when he's all done fighting. So
just King
it'll
Green.
be just King Green. from here on out, baby. I'm a big fan of his.
Well, we're both on the Bobby Green side, $9,400 in DraftKings. I'm a little undecided there because I got to see how well he scores. I don't think he's going to stop Jared. I think it's just going to be busy, touch him up, busy, touch him up. So I got to see how well he scores in those decision wins because that's what I see this looking like. But we're both very confident on Bobby. I still think minus 255 is solid. Obviously, I talked about this earlier, right? I forget who I was breaking down when I said Danaa Bagarai. He's got 2 losses in a row. You just don't know what a fighter's going to do after that. The difference between Bobby Green and Danaa, as I mentioned earlier, is Bobby Green's 2 losses are quality losses. One is to the current champion. The other is to a guy that he was beating up and he got caught. A guy who's known to have the best chin in the sport, let alone the division.
In the world.
In
the world, I think is what you meant to say. Looking and durability.
He is a good looking dude. But anyway, so Christ. Bobby Green's a tried and true vet. Those are 2 losses to high level people that it's okay. So I think we're good here. I think Bobby Green's absolutely going to get this done.
Well, I was going to mention, you were talking about DraftKings. He landed 75 strikes in a round and a half versus Drew Dober, who was a little bit of a better boxer than Jared Gordon. And Drew Dober, by the way, landed 28% of the strikes. That's not a very high percentage. Bobby was at 51%.
Yeah, so Bobby Green should absolutely get this done. I do have some action involving him. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member to unlock that and everything else that we may have going. This might be a fun, significant strike prop bet. Fridays after weigh-ins, BetOnline drops, and I think DraftKings has these as well. Significant strike prop bets. Who's going to land more significant strikes in this fight? Obviously, that's going to be Bobby no matter what. So that's going to be a great bet if it's not juiced. Or they'll just give you a straight-up line. They may say 120. All right, well, let's do our research. We'll take a look. If you're a premium member, make sure the Discord is linked so you get the alert to your phone. We have had a ton of success with the takedowns and significant strike prop bets when we hit those. Lucky Tim said, don't you think they would have given Jared someone way better than Bobby to shut him up? No, because Jared's coming off of a loss. So they can't give him somebody ranked. So Bobby is probably the best unranked guy also coming off a loss.
Yeah, and I will say
Who
this.
Who else could they give him?
And I think I0 might have said this in Discord. Somebody said in Discord that if Bobby ended up beating Drew Dober the way that fight was going to go, and he was matched up against Jared Gordon, he probably would be minus 500 because he was beating the absolute living shit out of Drew Dober, and Jared Gordon is not better than Drew Dober. So,
no, completely agree. Completely agree.